Hello, mambo vipi na tuko tayari kama kawaida. Karibuni sana to the Project Trinity podcast farm. So today I'll be your host, Brian Lulima, a project associate from right here in West Pokot, Kenya. So before we dive in, let me take you on a deep journey into the story that is quietly transforming the world. It all started with a simple but powerful question. What if we could bring solar powered, satellite connected digital hubs to the most remote and forgotten places on earth? So, places where electricity and internet had always been impossible. So that single question gave birth to Project Trinity. That today we are going real deep into green tech for good, sustainable infrastructure model. So, but this story is even bigger. We work hand in hand with the purpose partners who hire us trained associates to power their companies, and that revenue cycle comes right back to build more hubs and to the community. So right here in Kenya, we are about to enroll, I think, the second cohort at the David Corner Trinity Tech Center. And our current associate, including the four with us today, will step up as our mentors to guide the next generation. This is how we create disruption that lasts and sustainable change that multiplies across continent. We have four incredible project associates joining us live today. As you can see, we are on air. If you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, drop your favorite emoji in the comments right now and tell us where you are tuning in from. So fam, let's go. So let's bring our guests into the conversation. I'm truly excited about because these four voices represent the real heartbeat and future of everything that we are building, starting with our Kenyan team. Simon Sang, our creative storytelling and brand experience expert in West Pokot. Enos Tudoko, our data analytics, the star who come from a remote community with no power or internet. So Enos and Simon, welcome to the stage. So now over to our Haitian family, friendly actors, our engineers bringing the unstoppable, no pare energy every single day. So Andrew McKinley Voltaire, the sharp, confident professional driving digital impact in Haiti. So starting with you, Simon, can you just tell us more about yourself and take us through your personal journey with the Project Trinity?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brian. Okay, as moderator have said, I'm Simeon Ksang, an associate from Kenya. Maybe first I can say good morning to everyone in USA and Haiti, and good afternoon in Kenya. So my personal journey, maybe I can start by saying that my journey started actually back in campus when I started communication. So that is 4 years studies where I learned a lot of things like journalism, storytelling, public relations, gatekeeping. That is the process through which information is filtered, selected, and shared before it reaches the public, and how to communicate with different audiences. So, but honestly, even with all that, I still felt like something was missing, especially the practical side. Then, when I joined Project Trinity, that's when things really changed for me. I got to actually do the work like video editing, content creation, production, the field that I do like best, and also digital marketing and managing social media, not just learning about it. So, and for me, that shift from theory to real experience made everything click. So now I'm able to use those skills to tell real stories from the community, and that's something I'm really proud of. So Project Trinity didn't just teach me new things; it helped me really grow into what I had started. Thank you, Brian.
you so much for that. So picking up on that, Enos, how has Trinity completely transformed your life and maybe skills?
Yes, thank you so much, Brian. As you've heard, my name is Enos Tudoko, and I'm a data analyst and a web developer. And honestly, because what I can say is that I don't think many people know me as a data analyst. You won't believe this because the first time I ever used social media, something like WhatsApp, that's when I joined Canvas. That was my time, my big technology moment. WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. I remember thinking, yes, I have arrived, and now I am a technology person. Uh, I was a village boy. I grew up in a community where we did not take electricity for granted. Some evenings it came, many evenings it did not, and the internet that was not even something people talked about where I am from. It was not in our plans or our dreams because it genuinely did not feel like it was meant for us. Opportunity felt like it lived somewhere else, like it had an address and that address was not ours. So when I first heard about Project Trinity and the pod coming to this place, I was curious. Yeah, but also I was careful because I had grown up watching doors stay closed, not dramatically, not with anyone saying you can't, just quietly through circumstances. And when that happens enough times, you learn not to run towards things. You walk slowly and you watch fast. But I walked in, and what I found inside was not just computers or Wi Fi connection, it was people looked at me and already saw something I had not seen in myself yet. The training was real from day one. Uh, Learning Python, SQL, data analytics, um, web development, using the actual tools, the actual work, and somewhere in the middle of it all, something changed in how I saw myself. I stopped being the village boy who discovered WhatsApp in Canvas, and I became a professional. And that shift right there is the transformation I'm most grateful for. Everything else followed after that. So thank you, Brian, for that.
Thank you also. That's a good advice. So over to our Haitian team, Frandy. What does this working with the Project Trinity, really mean to you?
Before answering your question, thank you, Brian, and thank you everyone for having me here with you. As many of you know it, my name is Friendy Alchus, and I am a project associate with Project Trinity. My work focuses on infrastructure development, community engagement, and storytelling, helping connect technical solutions with real human impact. For me, being part of Project Trinity is more than just a role. It's a purpose driving mission where we are creating access to opportunities, empower communities, and building systems that can transform lives. So I'm really excited to be part of this conversation, and to come back to your question. You said that what does this work really mean to me, right? Okay, so for me, this work is deeply personal. As an engineer and someone who grew up in Haiti, I have seen the gap between potential and opportunity. Being part of that project, I'm talking about Project Trinity, means we are not just talking about change, okay? We are actively building it at the moment. Uh, Thorough infrastructure, technology, and community engagement. We are creating real access to opportunities that didn't exist before. What this work means to me is simple. It's about impact, purpose, and then creating a future where people like us don't have to leave our communities to succeed. So we can grow, thrive right where we are in Haiti or in Kenya.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Yes, we are not creating, we are building. Yes, we are building the future. So, over to you, Makenly. Can you share with us your story right from there in Haiti?
Good morning, team. Good morning for those who watching us in Haiti and also for those in Kenya. So thank you, Brian. It's truly a pleasure to be here to share my story. So my name is Marc-Henri Voltaire, a project associate from Haiti. So um, Haiti is a place where challenges are part everyday life, you know. So but is resilience, creativity, and determination. From early on, have been passionate about technology, so and the power it has to transform lives. So you know that the power that technology has to transform community, to transform people, you know. But however, growing up in an environment with limited access to stable electricity and reliable internet, so that path was not just give me I had a lot of limitation. I can say that, you know, it wasn't easy for me. So I had the goal to be a technologist, those kind of things. But so seeing the limitations that I had, and it it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. But so those challenges also shaped who I am today. You know, sometimes when you don't have access to everything that you need or you want, so you just force your brain. You imagine every time to see what you can create to get to make visible what is invisible. You know, so those skills just give those limitations just create this in me. So they taught me adaptability, you know, perseverance, and the importance of creating solutions where none seem to exist. So today, I work in digital and e-commerce, contributing to initiatives that not only support my own growth, but also open doors for others in my community. You know, as a leader, so your responsibility is not just working for yourself, but just try to transform your community, because this is what they're waiting for you. So being part of Project Unity has been, for me, it has been a turning point in my journey. You know, it has given me the opportunity to develop practical skills and connect with a global network and truly see the impact that sustainable technology and purpose driving what can have. You know, so I am so excited to share my experience and perspective with you today. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, my guests, for joining me today. And to our audience, keep it locked for this like 40 minutes so that you can hear inspiring stories from both our regions in Haiti and Kenya. So before we go into the main conversation, I want to take a few moments to paint the full picture of our story. so everyone understands how far we have come from. So Project Trinity started as a bold green tech dream, solar-powered portable online development hubs, and aka pods that could operate completely off-grid. Today, that dream has grown into a permanent infrastructure like the David Corner Trinitex in Top, West Pokot, and none of the above would be possible without the visionary leadership and belief of our purpose partners. So let me give a very special heartfelt congratulations to our visionary leaders and Dev Corner especially. So and every single purpose partner who stood with us. So your support turned simple solar containers into a self-sustaining model that hires our associates to deliver real services to companies. So that brings back revenue back to our communities and now prepares us to welcome the second cohort in Kenya. So asanteni sana and merci from the bottom of our hearts. This is your victory too. So let's go to the main conversation. So today let's start at the beginning. How exactly did the first pods disrupt isolation and open doors that never existed before? So, Simon and Enos, can you paint for the audience the picture from the Kenyan side? And then Frandy and McKinley show us how it looked in Haiti.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Okay, I can say before the pods came, that is portable online deployment system, it almost felt like we were in the dark before the coming of Project Trinity. So we had the passion and the willingness to learn, but it was a big challenge. Whereby when you can imagine you have finished your campus, you have everything you have finished your campus, you have the skills, but having a place to practice those skills was a challenge. You are willing, but where is the opportunity? So together with internet was not always reliable, power was not stable, and opportunities to really explore the digital space were very limited. So you will find that people had potential but no real platform to grow. Then when the pods arrived, everything started to change. We suddenly had a space where we could learn, connect, and actually work online. And now that you can imagine now that we have in Kenya now, right here in Top, we have a big workspace that is the Deaf Corner Trinitex Center, and thanks to our donors, partners who made everything go as planned. So we say thank you for that. And now that we have these equipment together with the space, the opportunity that Project Trinity gave us became a light to us. So you could really see the shift. People became more confident, more curious, more willing to try. So for me, it felt like moving from being in the dark and finally seeing what's possible. And that's when you realize it's not just infrastructure, but it's really transforming this community and all the associates at large. So thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Simeon, for that. And Brian, if you may allow me to start with a personal story, and I think it will really show what actually cost people. So in my first year of campus, there was an exam that was communicated over the holiday via the email. Now, because I could not access the internet back at home, I never saw that email. I had no idea. So when we reported back for the second semester and everyone was supposed to have done that exam, you can imagine the kind of shock that hit me, standing there completely blindsided while everyone else has already handled it, all because I could not access email from home. That's not a small thing. That's the kind of a thing that can derail your academic journey. And it happened simply because internet was not accessible where I come from. So when the pod arrived and suddenly anyone in the community could check their email, do their work online, access information, that was not a small upgrade. That was a life-changing shift, the kind of a thing that means a kid back home today will never have to show up somewhere and get blindsided the way I did. That sounds crazy when I say it out loud, but Project Trinity has genuinely changed the daily reality of this community in ways that people who have always had internet access will never fully understand. It's not just a convenience, it is opportunity, it is dignity, it is making sure nobody misses an exam because they could not get online. So Project Trinity has truly empowered this community. So thank you so much.
Okay, I want to show you how it looked in Haiti. So here, uh, the arrival of the pods marked a real shift in what people believe was possible. Before that, access to stable internet, electricity, and structured workspaces was a major limitation. But once the pod were introduced, we started seeing a change, not just in infrastructure, but in mindset. I remember seeing associate come in uncertain and live with direction. That transformation from I can't uh, to we are ready, no pari, to ko tayari is what disruption really looks like on the ground. Uh, People began to see that remote work, uh, digital skills, and global opportunities were no longer out of reach. It created a sense of direction and possibility that was missing before.
Um, yeah. So before to the ports arrive in Haiti, so as I mentioned it in my introduction, so daily life was for many of us was defined by limitations. No, so imagine that you probably many of us had the capacity, the talent, but but we missed something, especially when it came to work and learning. Unstable electricity meant interrupted productivity. So limited internet access made it difficult to participate in the global digital economy. So it was so difficult. And for many young people, opportunities felt distant, almost out of reach. So because we didn't see exactly the path, it was dark. I can use this that to tell you that. So it was dark. So it was impossible. But when the pods were introduced, everything began to change. Imagine that. So you get a pod, you have electricity, you have internet access. So now it was easy to meet the future. So at this time, everything began to change. Suddenly, we had a reliable space powered by solar energy, with consistent internet access. But beyond infrastructure, so we had else. It brought something even more powerful, which is possibility. Now, what was impossible? So we have the chance to start a new career. We have the chance we have the foundation of a new generation. So with the pod, and now people who once felt disconnected were now able to learn, collaborate, and work remotely. So it didn't just improve our environment, So it shifted our mindset. So not only transform the community, but we feel like confident. So we it those kind of things we experience it, and we move from asking what's possible here, so now to actually building solutions and contributing globally.
Yes, that's truly inspiring stories from you, my guest. So I think those limitations, I think Project Trinity has come to solve them. Now we can collaborate with the Haitian team. We have stable internet connection. We can talk on the screen. I think it's a very good technological advancement to us as youths in these rural communities, and we really appreciate this opportunity. So we are going to the part two. It's called sustainable infrastructure model. So this is the green tech magic that makes everything last. Solar power plus satellite internet equals infrastructure that doesn't break when the grid fails. So, Enos, how has this model opened real remote work opportunities maybe for you?
Okay, thank you, Brian. And I have to be honest about something first, and I think it's important for people to really hear this. Before Project Trinity, my mornings started with a negotiation. Every single day, I'd wake up, check if there was power, make a mental calculation about how long it might last, figure out what I could charge, what I could do, what I had to give up today because the electricity just was not cooperating. You won't believe this, but I used to wake up and literally check my phone battery percentage before I even say good morning to anyone, because that little number on the screen was going to determine my entire morning. 40% and I was fine. 8% with no power inside, my whole mood changed before the day even started. So when people hear me talk about the solar infrastructure and satellite connectivity, I need them to understand. I'm not talking about a nice feature. I'm talking about the thing that changed everything. Because here is what nobody tells you about trying to do professional work in an unstable environment. It does not matter how talented you are. The moment you drop off a client call because the power went out, the moment you miss a deadline because the internet disappears quietly without anyone saying it to your face, you get moved to the too unreliable pile. And that pile does not lead anywhere good. So the solar plus satellite model tool took all of that off the table for me completely. The power was there, the connection was there every single day, reliably. And when you have that consistency, you can build a reputation. You can commit to things. You can show up professionally every day, and people stop seeing you as a risk and start seeing you as someone they genuinely want to work with. That's when remote work became real for me, and not a dream I was chasing from a distance. Actual work, actual clients, actual results from here in my community. But the infrastructure is the foundation of everything else that Project Trinity builds. And because it's solar powered, because it doesn't depend on anyone else to keep it running, it's ours. That stability, that consistency, that's what the real opportunity feels like when it finally lands in your hands. So thank you, Brian.
Yes, thank you so much for that inspiring story. And also, Simon, how does how does your creative storytelling help bring the Trinity Tech Center and the ports to life for the world?
you, Mr. Brian. Okay, one of the things that I want to highlight about creative storytelling and brand experience, Mr. Brian, is that this model first brings that whole picture of a community, or of maybe I can use of the project Trinity, what is being done in the project, and also what the project do to the community, and what has this project changed the lives of the individuals living within, and who individuals, like the associates who gotten this opportunity to work under Project Trinity. So one of the moments that really just stayed with me is seeing someone who had never touched a computer before. Because if you can look into, uh, if you can examine all of the associates who gotten this chance to work under Project Trinity, most of us had not that frequent time to interact with computer. Uh, Most of us also had no idea on how to even to open the laptop and then close it. So I can say that this opportunity really made a change to the associates. So, and also the community also around. So to me, creative storytelling is to me is maybe I can use a term like, if you want something to be known in the world, so you must use the creative part to create some designs, to do anything to do that you can publish and the whole world can see it. So personally, I felt that change too, because before uh, the term Canva, that is a software, that software called Canva, was something new to me, because that is where now everything, if you want to edit, if you want to make an edit of your video content, make anything look clean, that's like filtering, making some filters, and then for you to post. So uh, it was something new before, but now I can say that it is something like, it is easy thing right now, because of the training I got under Project Trinity. My skills go high, not like what I learned in campus, because in campus maybe you can be given theory, not the practical side is minimal. Yeah, so this to me now has really has really opened my mind. It has also sharpened my skills. I can also know how to do a video content that maybe before it was something that I was not able to do it. So so moment like that, Mr. Bra, remind me that when you have a skill, you can do anything at your own time. You can even start your maybe your page and then have earning from there. So that is what I can share, Mr. Brian.
Yes, thank you so much for that point, Mr. Simon. So back to you, Frandy and McKinley. So listening to what my guest in Kenya, Simon and Enos, are saying. So how does the same sustainable model prove itself in Haiti's conditions?
Okay. Before going further, I want to take this moment to say hi to the people who are watching this live, and keep commenting, keep sharing the live, so that we can go further. And then I want to say hi to Hezron. Will believe that one day I will be able to speak Swahili, the Kenyan language. Tuko Tayari. I think I pronounce it well. Okay, then. So Brian, what makes this model powerful in Haiti is its sustainability and adaptability. I also find that this model is remarkable and was designed for exactly the conditions we faced here in Haiti. Um, the combination of solar energy and then satellite connectivity allows us to operate even in environments where traditional infrastructure is unreliable. So, from my perspective as an engineer, as a civil engineer, um, I can say you that this is more than a technical solution. Um, it's a strategic one. Yes. So what I'm talking about, it creates stability, consistency, and an access, which are essential for remote work and long-term development.
Um, yeah, Brian, thank you for asking. And I think that this model proves its strength in very real condition in Haiti. So imagine that you didn't have access to go to online, so where you can receive some trainings, you can manage your business, you can do a lot of things. So you didn't have access to that because electricity and internet was so difficult. And then you have now this opportunity to manage those kind of things. So it I can just say that this is what exactly we needed, and it facilitated, I mean, um in innovations and infrastructure, because we in the world right now, so many of the things that we want to do, we will use technology to do them, so I can just say in every field we need technology, like medicine. So those things, so we need technology to run after them. So that's why, so it was what was essential, what was needed to build our new generation that we wish to every time. So now we have access to the young. They have access to go online to visit some site to create their own business and to receive some training, which is so important. Because I can just use this statement from Nelson Mandela. So education can be considered as the greatest tool we can use to change the world. So when we have people educate people, so it's a good point to start the change that we were promoting, especially in Project Unity. Thank you so much.
So,
Nice, nice.
Brian,
I
sorry
see. You can
for
go.
the interruption. Yeah.
You can.
So, I want to add a point. For the people who are watching this live, to truly understand the Project Trinity, uh, you have to see the real problem. It's not a lack of talent, it's a lack of access. So what we are doing is changing that by creating system where people can access opportunities, develop skills, and grow right from their communities. This is not just a project, it's a sustainable model designed to shift people from limitation to possibility.
That's a great point, and I think the audience who is asking himself or herself, what is projectivity? I think you have painted the real picture about projectivity, Frandian. Thank you for that. So I can see you're bringing the energy from Haiti. Makenly is bringing the Nelson Mandela energy. Enos on fire, Simon. So, and I can also see the comment section is on fire. So, big up team. So, we move to the third and final topic of this section, which is sustainable future, purpose partners plus second cohort plus mentorship. So, and now the part that makes this truly sustainable for generations to come, We work directly with the purpose partners who hire our associates. That revenue circle funds more hubs and more training. In Kenya, we are just maybe weeks away from enrolling the second cohort, things like that, at the Trinity Tech Center. So, Simon and Enos, how are you and the Kenyan team preparing maybe to mentor this new second cohort? And what skills and mindset will you maybe pass on from your specialty?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brian. Mentorship to me is very personal because I remember what it felt like to start from almost nothing. So most of us started from zero, and then we are now somewhere. So I want to pass one more than just skills to the next code of what I learned from campus also, and the one that I acquired at Project Trinity to the next code. So that's like video editing, production, content creation, and also social media management. I know the team who will be joining might be new; they don't know how to do such things. I want them to perfect to meet their perfection, and I want also to pass on confidence. Without confidence, nothing is happening there. So they believe that where you come from does not limit where you go. So I'll focus on consistency, curiosity, creativity, and being willing to learn from every experience, and also teamwork, because nothing happens alone. So most importantly, I want them to see that what might feel impossible at first is actually impossible. Is actually possible, not impossible. That someone who started just like them can grow, create impact, and then guide them along the way. It's about planting seeds of belief and skills at the same time. So the next cohort can thrive and continue this circle of growth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simeon. So for me, when I joined Project Trinity, the training began with Generation Kenya. And I know, Brian, you remember very well it was tough. I mean, very tough. I remember uh, most of us used to arrive as early as 7 a.m. for the first shift. And that right there tells you the kind of commitment and seriousness this program carried from day one. It was not a casual thing. It was not a come when you feel like. It was a structured, it was demanding, and it pushed us in ways we didn't expect. And if I can be honest, I walked into the training with a little bit of confidence, because I thought, okay, I have been on Facebook, I have been using WhatsApp. I used Google back in campus. I understand technology, so I'm going to be fine. And let me tell you, I was not fine. Day one arrived and I deflated very quickly, because what we were being trained on was a completely different world from anything I had touched before. Data, things like data analytics, web development. I sat there thinking, I genuinely know nothing. WhatsApp did not prepare me for any of this. But here is what that tough training did to me. It built something real, because we did not quit. We showed up at 7 a.m. We pushed through the confusion. We asked questions we were embarrassed to ask. And on the other side of that difficulty was actual skill, actual confidence, actual capability that nobody can take away from me. So now the second cohort is coming, and as our slogan goes, we are ready. So I say I am ready to sit with them through exactly the kind of confusion I went through, ready to sell them. I know ready to tell them, I know this feels impossible right now. I sat in your exact seat and felt the same thing, ready to show them the other side of this hard work is worth every early morning and every moment of not knowing. What I want to pass on to them is not just technical skills, the data analytics, the web development, all of it. What I really want to pass on is the mindset that got us through, the belief that you don't have to already know everything to belong here. That showing up consistently, asking questions boldly, and refusing to give up on yourself when it gets hard. That's what actually builds a professional. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that. And also, Frankie and Makeni, maybe how does this mentorship model already work in Haiti and prove we can scale it globally?
Okay, thank you, Brian. In Haiti, we are already seeing how mentorship creates a cycle of growth. Associates who have gained skills at Project Trinity are now able to guide others who are just starting. So they are not just able to share skills; they share confidence. This creates a strong sense of responsibility and community ownership. What makes this powerful is that it's scalable. When people grow, they help others grow, and it's exactly what we wanted to do. So that's how impact multiplies and become sustainable over time. We are improving every now and then. This idea works well here. Haiti is already the proof of concept.
Uh, yeah, totally true. So, for this question, let me start like this. So, mentorship is already emerging as a powerful driver of growth within this model. What we are building goes beyond a workforce. So not something like every day. So young people just come to the port and receive knowledge, those kind of things on cybersecurity, problem solving, leadership, those kind of things. But it is a community of leaders. We just want to prepare, like, to so they can guide and inspire the next generation. The most important, according to me, the most important thing is what we can give to the next generation, what we can do for them. So it's not about ourselves. So we receive knowledge, we work, and we get an income. So this is not, for me, this is not really important. The most important is what we can give to the next generation. And so that's why we're trying to we will communicate to the new cohort. So, through mentorship, we are not only transferring technical skills, as I said that, so, but try to give them how discipline, collaboration, problem solving, and resilience. These qualities are critical for long-term success in any environment. So those who succeed is, they are not like a day they wake up and they get everything that they want, but it's a long period of time. They learn, they make mistake, they learn, they make mistake, and they learn from the mistake that they've made, and finally they get everything that they want. So what makes this model particularly impactful is its self-reinforcing, nature. As new cohorts enter the system, so they are supported and guided by those who who have already walked the path, as we have something to give them, to tell them, there, if you pass there, so you probably will be filled. So it's better if you take this path and help them to reach their destination. That's the role of a leader. Thank you so much, Ron.
Yes, thank you for that, Makenly. I know maybe the future trainees who are listening to this podcast live are really excited to meet all of you, and you can start mentoring them because we have a strong team that can mentor them for future skills and their future. So I will post a final question for all of you to discuss, and it goes like this: like, why does combining green tech infrastructure, purpose-driven hiring, and associates mentoring the next generation create a change that will truly last forever?
So, thank you so much, Brian, for that question. So let me go first. Most of the programs I have seen or heard about, and I say this with real respect, they solve one piece of the problem. They bring technology and they run a training and move on. They open a job pathway and then disappear, and the community is left holding one piece of something that needs three pieces to actually work. What Project Trinity built is a cycle where each piece powers the next one and feeds back into everything before it. So the green infrastructure means we don't have to ask anyone's permission to keep the lights on. It sustains itself. The purpose-driven hiring and the purpose-driven hiring means the people who come through this are not just a number in someone's annual report. They are seen, they are valued, genuinely invested in. And when people feel truly valued, something happens inside them. They give everything. They show up completely. They do their best work not because someone is watching, but because they actually care. And then mentorship, that's the piece that makes it outlast all of us. When I turn around and pour into the second cohort, I'm not just teaching data analytics or how to write a clean code. I'm handling them proof. I'm just saying, look at me. I was the village boy who thought WhatsApp was the peak of technology. I'm the one who missed the campus exam because I could not check my email back home. And now I'm here. The model works. I am the evidence. And the second cohort will do that for the third, for the fourth. And 20 years from now, nobody is going to trace the impact back to a program launch or a funding report. They are going to trace it back to real people in real communities who decided to show up and decided to bring the next person with them when they did. That's what change that lasts forever actually looks like. Thank you. That's my take.
Okay, team, anyone who wants to join the conversation, you can add on that. Okay, and also to our audience, I have a challenge to you. If you are in Haiti, can you comment with your favorite anything you know about any Swahili word that you know, and it should not be tuko tayari because I know you know that. And if you are in Kenya, can you give us a one Creole that you know, and it should not be it's not no pare. And then I will start off no party. So let's go. So I think we will be, I think we have like 3 minutes. I think we need to wrap up. So today we have gone really deep into the story. Now let's make it personal and look to the future. So each of you, maybe you can share one quick but powerful story of how this sustainable model has already changed someone in your community or even your own life.
Maybe I can go first, Brian. One of the things that one of the moments that really stayed with me was seeing someone who had never touched a computer before slowly gaining confidence. At first, they just learned the basics, but then they created something of their own, and the pride on their face was unforgettable. For me personally, I felt that changed too. Uh, I went from knowing the theory in Canvas to actually producing the content, managing social media, and telling stories that reach beyond community. That feeling, that growth, and is powerful. So a moment like that reminds you that why all the efforts matters. It is not just learning a skill; it is discovering your own potential. Thank you.
So, so let me answer you on that, Brian. And you know what? I'm just going to tell you my own story here because I think it's the most honest answer I can give. When I finished the campus, I had a degree in my hand and absolutely nothing else. No job, no leads, no real plan. And if you have been in that position, you know exactly what that feels like. You have done everything right. You went to school, you studied, you finished, and then you come out the other side, and the other side, and the world just doesn't have a place ready for you. That waiting, that silence after campus, it's one of the most disorienting feeling I've ever experienced. It was not a, I was not idle by choice. I was just stuck looking around, trying to figure out where the door was and why it was not opening. Then Project Trinity came into the picture, and honestly, in the beginning, I just showed up and I didn't fully know what I was walking into, but I showed up. And what happened inside the program, I genuinely would not have predicted it. I started learning things I never imagined I would ever know how to do. Data analytics, using Python, SQL, real technical skills that actual companies and clients need, not theory sitting in the textbook somewhere. Practical hands-on work that I could apply immediately. But the real turning point, the moment everything became real for me, was the first time I completed an actual project, a real one, not a practice exercise, not a classroom assignment, a real deliverable for a real purpose. I remember sitting there after finishing it and just thinking, I built that, I did that. Yeah, the village boy from the village who didn't know what the internet was until Canvas. That moment cracked something open in me because I was not just about it was not just about the project. It was the proof that I was capable of things I never given myself permission to imagine before. And once you have that proof, nobody can take it from you. It lives inside you. That's what this model does. It doesn't just give you access to technology, it gives you evidence of your own potential. And for someone who came out of Canvas with a degree and no direction, that evidence changed everything. So thank you.
So let me do it quick as we wrap up. So one moment that stays with me is seeing an associate who came in with nothing, no formal training, no digital skills, no connections, and watching them complete a real project for a real client. So the transformation wasn't just in what they could do. It was in how they carried themselves. So the confidence, the sense of belonging to something bigger, that's what Project Trinity creates. And once you see it, you can unsee it.
Yeah. So let me use this to end. Um, the important is not what you have, okay, but is what you do with what you have. Um, I I remember that when I when I first got the pod, so I didn't have like a lot of things. I didn't know a lot of things. So I used WhatsApp, those basic technology model. So, but now I have the opportunity to create a lot of things through the technology. And I know a lot of people a lot of young so in my community. So at first they didn't know a lot of things about technology. So when we're talking about technology, yeah, what is exactly? So, but now they or they feel confident to talk about technology, and they even create their own activities through the technology. So I think this is one of the greatest thing that happen in our lives. So and we also so grateful. That's why we're working to share those values to the next generation. So we all Project Unity and no Paris or we all ready. Thank you so much.
We are truly ready. So, to bring this powerful hour to a close, Project Trinity is a story proves that green tech infrastructure powered by purpose partners and our own associates mentoring the next generation is the sustainable future that we are building right now, not just in Kenya and Haiti, but around the world. So, how can you be part of the mission? Volunteer, donate, sponsor, or partner? Every contribution creates opportunity and drives real impact. There is a growing momentum, and your support helps carry it forward. So, DM the opportunity to connect and take the next step. So, don't forget to follow us, share our podcast, and don't forget to join us next week. Thank you, Simon, Enos, Frandy, and McKinley. This was absolute fire. Until next week, stay connected, stay purposeful. Brian Lodima signing off from West Pokot. Asanteni sana, and God bless you all.
As we close, let me say that our focus
Randy.
remains clear to scale impacts and things, sustainability, and creates measurable change in the community we serve. And our partners and supporters, your trust and collaboration make this work possible. Together, we are not just imagining a better future, we are actively building it. This is not just a project, it's a movement. Thank you.